me a call Kumsin. You can find me on all social media platforms at PK_Kumsin. Kumsin spelled with a double N. The Chat is a show where we talk about everything that's happening in the entertainment space. We inform, we educate, but we don't bash people. We are not here to set any agenda or anything. But today we have a very interesting conversation that I want to touch on quickly, where it's about artists and promoters. It looks like there's always this tension or fight between artists and promoters. So an artist will show up at a show, he will be late, he'll say, promoter didn't pay me, so I was not there on time. Promoter will say, oh, I've sent him all the money and all of these things. Most promoters are also complaining that our Ghanaian acts are charging too much. How much is too much in our industry? Should there be a standard fee that should be charged so that if I'm doing something, I'm having an event, I know, oh, 20,000, they should be able to sort out an artist. But you call an artist, you say 80,000, 90,000. Then people are saying, but I just going to play a show for like 10 minutes, 20 minutes. All of this, want to look at that, and we have a legendary producer in the show with us, and then also, somebody who has been in the music space for the longest time. He's a music head. Recently, I was with him at an event, and he decided he was not going to speak. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I have 7 Xavier and JMJ with us. Boss. How are you doing? How's the weekend been? I'll start with you, JMJ.
My weekend started off from Kumasi.
You're coming from Kumasi?
Yeah, I had an interview with one Hamanti. He flew me all over there to have almost 2-hour conversation on our industry. So I just landed in straightforward, yeah.
Wow. Wow. 7, how's it been for you?
Oh, it's all right. It's all right. Nothing special.
Nothing special. Yeah. But is that what I said recently? I was with you were smiling.
No, because because whenever we are together, they want me to talk. So no, I don't always talk. I talk sometimes.
You talk sometimes. You don't talk always.
Not always.
Anyway, what do you make of this whole? Today's conversation is going to be streamlined towards one angle, but we'll make time and make it a holistic conversation. Reason being that most times promoters are complaining about Ghanaian acts too much. Like Ghanaian acts charging too much for performances. As a music producer and knowing what goes into music and everything, what do you make of it when you hear some of these complaints going around?
What would they call too much? And then what would the artist also call way less? The conversation is it's a business. I mean, before a promoter decides, I've never been a promoter before,
okay.
But before a promoter decides to envisage an event, he definitely knows there's a need for the concept, or he has this beautiful concept. He believes that the concept will be able to sell. Now the next thing is which artist will be able to sell the narratives he wants to. It's not just the performance. Most times our focus always goes on just the artist being on the stage, but there's always a narrative behind every event. So once you're able to do that, the next thing you're looking at is you have a rough budget. If you are capable, you have the finances, fair enough. If you want to go out there to the corporate world to go and seek sponsorship for this event, partner people and all of that, you have at the back of your mind a rough estimate of what this whole event is going to cost you. Now, you have the luxury of having a list of A-list, B-list, all those artists. That is to say, if it is 2 CDs events that you have for artists, proud to that, you have a list of all those artists that your budget is able to go and afford, right? But if I find out that your budget is 1,000, and then you want a 3,000 artist, and then come and say they are charging too much, that part don't get to sit well with me. Did you do your homework very well? Because before even coming to say that, you and the artists have been having conversation. You know how much they are going to take you. You know how much you are pulling from resources and your sponsors and supporters and all of that. So if it's not going to work, you fall on your B-list artist or your C-list. I mean, Nobody is putting a gun on your neck that Chinchini I'll go and bring a Saturday to an event when you know that you barely can afford it. And then when it goes bad, then you want to say that this same person, if he gets the likes of Davido on his stage, he would then turn the narrative that Ghanaian artists are not serious. You see how, you understand me? You understand me? So it's a broad conversation. I would have loved a promoter to sit here with us and tell us his side, their encounters, some of the difficulties they go through, so that for me as an artist manager, I could tell you that those difficulties you are complaining about is as a result of X, Y, Z. But right now, we are just going to be in their head, assume, share experiences of some of the bad experiences from both artists and then promoters. You understand me? So it's a broad conversation.
All right. Now, Seven, you have, hung around with most acts, right? An artist charging 50,000 Ghana cedis, 60,000 Ghana cedis, 70,000 Ghana cedis. To the ordinary Ghanaian, they will see this as too much. What would you say about the fairness of these prices? So let's say Sarkodie says, I'm not saying that's how much Sarkodie charges. I'm just assuming, and I'm just giving a guess. You want a Sarkodie on your stage. He tells you, give me 100,000 Ghana cedis before I come and perform.
Do you know, I'm asking you, do you know actual performance fees these days? Do you have any idea how much they actually charge?
There's no standard rate, so I'll not be able to put a standard rate to it.
Let's say like an A-list-ish artist, do you know how much they're charging now?
A-list-ish?
Because the prices you're mentioning, it's laughable, that's what I'm saying.
I'm sad.
It's even low.
It's way too low. Not just low, it's way too low.
It means you're actually degrading them. There's nothing.
$50,000, $5,000. Nobody's charging that.
No artist is charging.
I'm sure the guy who even walked out of here doesn't even charge that. That's nothing. Yeah, go ahead.
No. So, hey. So then, are these prices fair, or are these charges fair to promoters, especially in Ghana, looking at the situation we find ourselves in?
What is fair, really? Just remember, some of these artists who are now A-list artists are mostly dealing with labels, where that means that their masters or their streamings and stuff probably like minimal. What they have to move around and do everything with is possibly from shows. Right now, they have a whole entourage of people from lawyers, because if I recall, recent case with Blacko, I think it was a lawyer who came out to speak. Right? They have lawyers, they have managers, business managers. They are different people who they roll with. And I know for a fact Blacko's shows are usually well curated. Like, they actually bring their own rig, their sets, just because they want the good sound. Right? So we are talking about all of these things. And if you're not willing to pay if you're not willing, if you can afford to pay it, it's a business, like you said, then just go look for a B-list artist. But the pricing you mentioned is laughable. Nobody's charging that. No,
that's 500 million old Ghana cedis I'm talking about.
500,000, yeah, that's cool. That's
like 500,000. That's okay.
500,000.
But wait, Kofi, let me ask you a question. I was outside and I heard the artist Leon performing with the band. So assume he's supposed to pay all those guys. I'm not grading them, but the first 3 top band, carpet band, their charges. If Samini is performing with any of those guys, how much they will take you for rehearsals before the final day.
Yeah.
That's it. Then, of course, you're kidding me. You're kidding me. You see, we sit here, and then because of internet, we're able to compare our created content with other top people, and then we feel very comfortable to rate our guys with all kinds of awful rating. They are not good. They are this, blah blah blah. But we assume that we don't realize that it is money. See, there is supposed to be a carpet band here. most of the time, top artists won't even come with, they won't play with the carpet band.
They'll
They'll
come
bring
with
their own band because
okay.
they understand them better. And to move a band for any event, there's a fixed price. Let's say you are flying an A-list band to Kumasi for Samini to perform. And I heard you say, oh, it's some 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
Yeah, because that's
that's the sad part I don't want to hear if I get a mail or a call.
Hours of practice.
It's not even about the duration that matters to me. When I am dealing with an event organizer, I don't look at the duration because if you fly me to Kumasi, manyaba, say 10 hours or say 2 hours, mabedu. You get it. The real vibe is that the fact that when my artist climbed that stage and he's got to sing for just 30 seconds, the impact he leaves on the viewers and the attenders, and the revenue and the commercial value to you, the event, you don't even understand your business in the first place to even start up. Because if I have a Davido to headline my show and I look at the whole, the spectrum of a Davido following that I'm expecting at the event, and I can put a cost to each ticket, and then I look at the corporate worlds that will buy into the headline of a Davido and the brands that will come on, and then you are saying that, oh, for Davido just coming on for just 2 minutes, so why is he charging his ticket alone? He's not even coming with your normal ticket, he's coming with a private jet in the first place. And then once he does that, you're like, hey, did you see Davido landed with the private jet? Meanwhile, you are telling a local artist, oh, so you're just can't you take your own car and just come? Let me tell you something that happened.
Okay.
I encountered the best weekend. I actually wanted to go back to my social and make a story about what happened in Kumasi. Unfortunately, I have to say this on your show. Most of the time when they call you to come for an interview, the station is actually creating content for their channel. Do you know that they actually allow you to take your own money, fuel yourself, come and sit in their studio, create content for them, they say thank you, and then you go home.
God bless you.
And God bless you. And then they will watch, let's look at some of the content on America from the podcast, and then they'll watch and then they'll compare it to, oh, Hammer flew me from here to Kumasi, flew me back, put me in toilet, and told me that he wants to put me on radio for 2 hours. Let's have a conversation from what is happening now compared to what has been happening in the past. Why the streaming money, and when we were selling cassettes and CDs. When he finished, he took me to his house to have a podcast conversation. Now tell me, how would I go there and not do a research on the topic he gave me? Make sure that his listeners have a well-informed, and then to another place where I'll go and to tell me thank you. Even if I had a broken tire on my way, I'll fix it on my own. You see, we have been so mediocritical to the extent that everything, and you know the funny thing, the event organizer who is saying, oh, it's too expensive, he's after profit, but he thinks that he's doing a favor to the artist. He's giving the platform to the artist to come and market himself. Market himself for who to pay? When you are the first person to use him and you're not ready to even pay him. There's a whole lot of conversation we are not ready for. So let's just keep scratching the surface like this.
But you see, sometimes people go like, oh, if I bring the act and I pay him, the amount I'll pay him is the kind of performance he would do. Does it then mean that if you don't give them the best price, they will also mess up your show?
There's nothing like a mess up. If I remember we went to South Africa, I think Big Brother house. Now, you see, when I was coming, I read the conversation we were going to have. And I remember I went through our emails from top event organizers when they want to book us, and then how a Ghanaian promoter will book you here, how they go about the whole business. Let me show you.
So, do you have an experience to share? How a Ghanaian promoter will book you here? You tell us about that.
So let me show you what happened. First of all, is it DSTV sent a mail to us that your artists have been chosen to be the next performer for the coming? I think the performance was on weekends. I remember that time. Quickly, they had to get our details for traveling. First of all, they asked the crew the number and everybody's role. Then they send you a mail asking for technical rider. You know what that means? From the very moment Kaki lands at the airport, what's the first thing she wants to see that makes her feel good? That will make her feel like, yes, she has arrived.
Like
have you checked the technical rider of Beyonce? Where sometimes she will ask things that 10 minutes to her to climb on stage. If you don't get, she's not coming. She's still stuck up in her dress room, waiting for it. You see, we are we are joking.
We are not ready.
No, we don't. The fact is, we don't even understand what we are doing. We don't, because there are no professionals. We are, Charlie, the showbiz in Ghana, it started us as Agrobi. I was telling him that those days, he was asking, so how is the explicit? I'm like, those days, you see, Lumba singing a song and say, offer so and so in Hamburg.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the uncle that gave some $1,000 for the boy to go to studio and go and record. That offer, they didn't even understand what that money, the value of it. 100 years to come, he doesn't even know that he has a master's as executive producer to that content. Because now I've grown and now AD.
Man. Anyway, Seven, can you share your experience? I mean, what promoters are not doing right when it comes to dealing with acts? Because you see, like I said, today is to inform and for people to learn. To be honest, I've learned so much right now.
Well, I think it's a whole industry thing where we need to all learn and have standards, you know, exactly what we are looking for from each other, you know. So I have an experience that I think that this one might actually bash the artist, but there was a time when ShopRite in Kumasi was opened, and a client, Coca-Cola, I think it was a client, they wanted to give artists to ShopRite for the opening day, you know.
Yeah,
yes,
like the grand opening.
Grand opening, blah, blah, blah. So I was more like a booking agent / consultant for who should be booked, you know. So I got about 5 or 6 artists to go. Now, I was thinking they should know how things work generally. I didn't have trouble with a lot of the A-list-ish artists who were called, but an up-and-coming was booked from Accra to Kumasi. The plane leaves at 12.
He got there late.
He got there at 12:05. So I asked him, what time did you get? He said, I got there at 12.
The plane is taking off at 12.
He gets there at 12. And now it has to be rebooked. Now, I can't go to whoever.
That's your loss.
That's my loss. I had to pay for it. And there was 2 of them, him and his manager. I had to pay out of pocket. I did. Now, even before the whole thing, there was a contract. Now, it's a corporate we're dealing with. So the one thing is you will not get paid before the show, 30 days. And that's even good. Some of them go 90 days. 30 days is the payment period. Do you understand that? Send the contract
30 days after performance.
After performance. Yes. Actually, it's up to 30 days after performance.
Days. Okay.
So send the contracts out. They all signed it and brought it back. Called back to say, did you read it? The payment is up to 30 days after the performance. Yeah, we okay. All of them. We get to the show and an act, a group. I was on one side and I hear commotion on the other side. They were beating a manager of one of the company who basically going to pay them. Why are you beating them? Because you want that money before we get on stage. You know, so I came in, tried to solve it. They agreed, okay, cool, we'll do the show. But after the show, we want to tackle you. We want to talk, no problem. So they did the show, it was done. Now, we did fly about 1 or 2 others from here, but the majority of them was from Kumasi. So there was no hotel booking. It was an event which was like 1 to like 4-ish. So there was no hotel booking for the artists. And they actually wanted more of Kumasi artists so that they wouldn't have to spend extra. The one who flew from here was actually paid for because, you know. No, it was a return flight. So it was a return flight that day. So
you go perform and then come back.
Go perform and come back. Now, the people who fought the manager told me they wanted a hotel room. You were done with the performance at 3. 3 p.m. What do you want the hotel room for after the performance? 4.
So is it the case that we do not set the expectations right from
No.
the onset?
No, it's the case that they're not professional, and maybe don't have people who read stuff from the artist's point of view. But then there's definitely some artists who are professional, and in this case, I'll say I know a few other guys on Blacko's team, and I would want to assume they're professional, and whatever happened, there should have been a reason, you know. But so far, I've heard their side or from their lawyer side, and I've heard something totally different from
the promoter
side.
Yeah.
You know, so like he said, we probably need a promoter to be in here somewhere to actually, you know. But it's always, I hope everything was recorded, like conversations were recorded, contracts are still valid, or you can actually see the contract, and we'll know who's at fault. I really hope it wasn't a word of mouth. Oh, Charlie coming before.
Charlie,
you
because
know.
we like doing that a lot.
That's
Yeah.
the-
Like,
that's the
oh,
standard
JMJ Charlie,
there.
I get event too. You go fit come.
Come support me.
Yeah,
Come
yeah.
help me. That's the language.
That's the language.
Help.
But
Help.
whatever I did with the artists, I made sure there was a contract. So whenever they come, telling you 30 days, did you see it? And no, we reread that, but it's there. You can't get your money now. So we had to call Kumase landlord, DJ Slim, to come and mediate.
Wow.
And DJ Slim was like, my guy, some of these companies, it's actually 90 days after the fact. Corporate stuff. You have to understand, this is how it goes.
Wow, I really wish we had so much time to like delve deeper into this, but Kafu, if you're listening, I mean, you are watching. It's not like if you're listening, you're watching. We need to actually set this up again so we have an in-depth conversation, because I'm learning so much. But before we go, what are some of the things that we need to learn, especially as promoters? Because it looks like we are always complaining that we have the short end of the stick.
So you've answered yourself. Learn. People need to become professionals. People need to start employing professionals.
Yeah.
The word help leads to mediocrity. The word help leads to not demanding standard and professionalism. Because I'm only helping. You understand?
Yeah, I'll give whatever I can.
Because
Do my
that's it.
best, whatever I
So
can.
until, imagine this studio have people who say, oh, they are not paying us, so me too, I came to help with the camera, and then his angles and his shots are terrible. How are you going to hold him responsible for?
He's not
So
being
you
paid.
have to go for a professional cameraman who understands that if from the setting, if it is blue screen or whatever, what we have to do. But because there are no professionals in the industry to start off, people learned on the job. People were just led by passion. People just found themselves doing what they are doing. We are the only industry that now for help. Like if you ask,
Serving my paddy, so Charlie, make you be my manager.
last time I was telling a friend that most of the punditries I've seen so far, like if there's a health issue, they call a doctor. The reason why they call a doctor is because they know that whatever he's saying, he knows the implications outside of his profession. If a listener goes to go and buy a paracetamol and then because a listener heard the doctor saying that you can take this medicine. So there are consequences to even what you come and say. That's why they go for professional. If it's about football, they go for people who, but it's only entertainment that Kafu will call his friend. Name them. Name all the producers. They call their friends.
Yeah.
Not the people who are professionals well invested in
their
the
space.
Because let me show you something. If I come and sit here and I say something awful, there are two dangers attached to that. One, the brand channel. If a listener listens to me and he goes to do something and then it backfires, the first person they are coming for is your channel because he heard it here. Who brought me Kafri? Who was the producer? Who was who traced the channel?
And at the end of the day, the brand will be
Exactly.
affected. Okay.
Now me, if I wasn't qualified, I can my family I'm gone because you brought me. You should have known you understand? So to seal it up, we need people who have to be professionals. If you have the passion and you want to do and you are not professional, find how to get the needed knowledge. Get to the schools, ask questions. Today, you don't even need to go online. I want to be what is technical rider? I'm an artist manager. What is this? What is this? I'll be honest with you. Back then, when they sent the technical rider, I didn't know a jack what it meant. No, I'll be honest with you. I called my friend in Dubai, my cousin. He said, oh, what it means is this. And back then, I didn't even know that this, I just had to type technical rider on my Google. It will give me all the meaning, and then I'll quickly understand what it meant. You understand?
Yeah.
But that is not there. Friends, Paddy, oh, Charlie, Munchendi, oh, we can go fit. Like he said, let me show you what he was saying. A top artist or any serious artist will tell you that per our experiences, when we finish performing the show, we have issues getting our money back. So if you are an agency, you should have the money. That's the issue between you and the corporate person. Pre-finance it.
Oh, okay.
I won't bring my artist and tell me that 30 days. I won't do that. I will never do that. Because I've been flown to a place where after that, the event organizer told me that somebody came to steal the ticket at the gate. So they have all kinds of funny stories. Ooh. So I'll take my money, 80%. And even with clauses that when I get there and I don't get my balance, I'm not refining the 80% because of experiences within our region. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
So, yes, I understand. Corporate world, 90 days, I mean, as an agency and communication guy, marketing guy, I understand that. But you as an agency person, if you have that contract from marketing, you then now go and seek for your physical cash. Because you know that 90 days you are getting your money back.
Yeah.
You don't need to tell me, the artist, that, no, I'm not doing that.
But it was a contract.
Yes, I agree. That's why I said any serious artist manager who read that per the experiences they have in a cry, play a show 90 days before I come for the money. Am I drunk? What are you telling me?
Man, Charlie. 7, close as why. Boy, I mean, what can we learn? What can we learn quickly before we go?
I really, it's learn the business, because what they're doing is not play. It is a business, you know. But I think one of the problems is most promoters now are not even able to sell actual shows. So what they do is it's sponsorships. Everyone is looking for sponsorship to do something, and then, you know, sometimes the sponsors are actually paying for these acts, and then you probably get surplus, and that's your profit. But if you think about it, like, who is really trying to sell tickets apart from Ghana Music Awards? Like, I don't think people are really trying to sell tickets these days.
Packaging.
You know, so it's like they go for the easiest way out. Yeah. It's the easiest way out. But, you know, when you go outside of here, the Live Nations and these other players, these are serious players who have money invested in this, and they're actually making sure they are ticketed. They're ticketed. But most of the shows here now are huge stadiums, but it's all free. And it's all free. So maybe if we all learn to do business properly, you know, it helps out everyone. And then, you know, as a business, you cannot afford a 500,000 CDs artist. So you cut your quota according to your size. You know, and there are demands, because some of these demands are, like he said, beyond ridiculous, but you have to meet those demands because you want whatever you're paying for, you want to get the money back twice, you know. And we all should just do our parts to learn and know what we are doing in the space.
Man, time is too short for this. We've barely scratched the surface for this conversation. We are going to go deeper into it later on in the coming weeks to talk about it. We'll get a promoter here, we'll get a music executive here, and we'll bring JMJ and 7 back, so we'll be able to have a holistic conversation. I thought we were going to, like, you know, like, but it looks like JMJ said,
Yeah,
it's huge that we thought or we assumed about this. Later, we'll go for a quick break. Thank you very much, JMJ. Thank you very much, 7. It's been fun having you here. We'll go for a quick break. When I return, I have a legend in the making for theater right here in studio with me, Andrew Tando.